Hi, Carmen. Hi, Neely. Good evening, Elise. Welcome.
Good evening. Thank you.
Good evening, Rainey. Hi, Giovanna and Jill. Welcome. Geshe Gelek is here.
Please have a seat. Good evening, Venerable Hamullah. Good evening, Brahmasi. Good evening, Suji. Good evening, Jill. Good evening, Carmen. Good evening, David. Good evening, Renee. Good evening, Neely. Tashidelek. Good evening, Karen. Good evening, Bob. Good evening, Elise. Good evening, Panditji Pati. Good evening, Yeshua. Good evening, Tom. Good evening, Giovanna. Good evening, Michael. Anyone watching YouTube, good evening. So, yeah, Alhamdulillah, like last page.
Yes, Geshe, we haven't done any preliminary prayers yet.
Yeah, then begin with the prayer, please.
Thank you, Geshe. So we'll start with the 7-limb prayer. Gosugu pegone chatselo nye shami tu cherti malubo tomene sadi tun tam che shak ke page wanam la jeiram korwa ma tomba du le ju ki kolo korwadong da jenge non jan chu chenpo ngo. Saji perki Shushin metog tamri rablishi ni degen padi sange shindu mikte ua Idokunam dag Shin la che parshok Jetsun lama dampa kyenam kichukukala kense chujintik chitar tsampe tujetzima la shab kecherki charpawap tu so idam guru ratamadalakam niryatayami.
Sanje chodang soje chonam la chanjo pardon nane chanzo dagi chuje jebe sanam je ando la penje sanje ando sho sanje chodang soje chonam la chanjo pardon nane chanzo dagi chuje jebe sanam do la penje sanje ando Sanje chodang soje chonam la chanjo pardon dame chozonje. Dagi chuje jebe sanam je ando la peje. Sanje ando toda ala me na mi aji ombo da jaje la so chuje chodang chanje la sanje sungja rabdo shi jin deve jujo. De da shi je ya tabe chuje jin de je. Namo la yeke dalo da nijenge tepo dada mi yeke nana ano kunje dana jada tamche keto dake chwe tendo kange tuze nyeso ne tawa tamche bambesh tambesh ne tenze ba godam tena chak se lo. Oh yeah, good evening Julie. Good evening Bodhisattva Patrick. Good evening Nico. Good evening Helen. Oh yeah. Good evening Michelle Hill. Good evening Kandola. Good evening Robin. So Robin, okay. Oh yeah. So now back to the something religious. Finally finished 400 or 500 pages. Finally, see the end of the text. I thought we are never going to see the end of the text. Finally, we reached to now. We are finishing the text. Oh, very good. So rejoice, okay? So where you left, Samula?
Oh, we're on the last two paragraphs.
The last two paragraphs in the page?
Yes, Geshe, of the last page in the English text.
What it says?
It's do you want me to say that there's no section title or anything?
Last paragraph, yeah.
Last two paragraphs.
Yeah. Can you say in English, please?
Okay. Even the Lamrim scriptures teach numerous important oral instructions, complete with the important pith instructions on how to train in tantra, as well as the general points of the path on up. Therefore, you should definitely study them. Moving upward from there, you should perfectly receive a step-by-step commentary on the stages of the path to enlightenment and the practice tradition of your Lama. Therefore, this is like a young and intelligent person at one of the higher seats of learning, undertaking study and contemplation of the great texts. Although you may be unable to manage something like that, you should strive at studying, contemplating, and meditating in accordance with your mental capacity on such works as the great and middle-length treatise on the stages of the path to enlightenment, the swift path, and so forth. In addition to pure view and conduct of monastic discipline, develop the experiences and realizations of the stages of the path that you have not yet developed, and increase those that you have developed. Strive to abandon negativity and practice virtue to the best of your ability, and extract each unique essence of this life of leisure and so forth, as I have already repeatedly explained. There are numerous extremely cherished general and specific trainings that are all necessary for establishing a practice. We should dedicate the roots of virtue from listening to and teaching the Dharma. With great happiness, I have fully given you all of the teachings with great clarity and in extensive detail.
Finish?
Yes, Geshe.
So that means like completely finished.
Yes, except for the colophon.
Yeah, so now that means finished. So when Samula say finished, that means finished. Yeah, it's good, like at least that you have like imprint. This is a very extensive text, extensively explained by Poponga Rinpoche, one of the great Lamrim Lama. So at least like have like tendency that you will have tendencies hearing that. Even in English, reading that text, you have to leave the tendency, strong tendency in your mind stream. So, yeah. So now, we'll start the King of Prayer. Okay. King of Prayer.
Geshe, there is one question from a couple of weeks ago. This was a question we were explaining about tantra, and the question is, am I reading correctly that we must have received all of the highest tantra empowerments, achieved calm abiding, full realization of emptiness, fully developed bodhicitta, and full renunciation before we can begin training in Vajrayana? I'm a little confused about the stages, no more learning as something that must be attained prior to training in the Vajrayana.
Yeah, just rely on the Sudayana path. You can achieve fully enlightenment. You have to like eventually you have to enter into the tantra and the path in order to achieve full enlightenment. So in order to practice tantra, you need the permissions. So that's why you need to be initiated. You need to be initiated, given the permission to read, study, and practice. So that without that, so then trying to, it's going to be like a handful of sand, squeezing that sand and hoping, like some kind of like oil. That's like grabbing a handful of sand and squeezing that and hoping some kind of oil will drop down. That's impossible. So they're similar like that. Without going to proper training and practicing tantra, what it means it doesn't produce result. So if you are hoping for result, so then better to follow the guideline that precisely lays, like, that's why reason why tantra come very end. Before that, talking about renunciation, bodhicitta, wisdom, realizing emptiness, without that, but generally speaking, like at least you have to have good understanding of these three principal aspects of the path. What is renunciations? How to develop renunciations? When I can tell when I develop renunciations, what is a bodhicitta? How to develop bodhicitta? How you can meditate on bodhicitta? How many instructions there? So what is emptiness? At least you have to have understanding. And without that, there's no foundations. Then you are trying to build some house without foundations. So that's why the tantra teaching comes in the very end of the text. There's a reason. So then after that, so now actualizing renunciation, bodhicitta, wisdom, realizing emptiness, that's hard, very hard. But at least you have to have good understanding. Without that, running to this initiation, that initiations, when Lama asks you to visualize, you have no clue what's happening. You have no clue what's going on, no clue. So then, so that's why at least we must understand what is renunciations, what is for, how to develop, how you can tell when you develop renunciations, what is bodhicitta, how to develop bodhicitta, how many instructions, what is shunyata, how to meditate on shunyata. Then you have to have understanding. Without that, so in the tantra text comes Om Sambhava Sadhama Sambhava Ham, all become empty. Basically, it's not just empty, it's now really empty, there's nothing. It's not just empty here, there's nothing to think. So then it literally become empty. So they have nothing to think. So that's why it's very important to study. So now, if you have some understanding of emptiness, then it's not empty. It means something very profound. All become something very profound rather than just empty. So then, when you say, that's how the tantra practice begin. Like blessing, offering, like visualizing yourself, rising yourself as a deity, all require understanding of shunyata. Without that, what are you going to think? All become empty. What are you going to think? True nature of body, spirit, mind, pure. All the phenomena, true nature, all the phenomena pure. The purity of that, that is me, so then all become empty. If you have nothing to think, so then then it's not good. So that's why, So then after that, you receive initiations. So probably it's not good to wait till you gain the realizations. Probably you could study tantra, so of course the best, if you gain the realization, then if you practice tantra, result will be much, much quicker. So then I think, like the concern is that in this life, you may end up this life without having any tendency of tantra teaching in your mind stream, that's kind of big lost. So therefore, having a good understanding of the three principal acts of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, wisdom, realization, shunyata. So then top of that, so they receive initiation, then you have some clue what's going on. So then when you are in the initiation, make sure that you follow every visualization. Lama says, now visualize this, you can't just, like then, if you miss the visualization, that's kind of hard. So therefore, why it's called secret path? Because it's been given to the small audience, that audience who knows exactly what's going on, rather than just all confused. No, there's no confusions. There's like zero confusions. Everybody understood every single word, every single visualization has meaning. So they understood very clearly. So that's why tantra teaching has been giving small group of people. That's the meaning of secret path. It doesn't mean like there's something that you don't share. That's why it's called secret. It doesn't secret exclude bigger congregations. Small, kind of like minimize the amount of people that you give initiations. After that, receive the initiations, so then then practice. Then more likely produce some result. So then when you read, you understood very clearly, you understood exactly what the text is explaining. You can relate yourself with the text, like that, okay? So it's always good to go, no matter how long it takes, it's always good to go with the proper path. Because this is very important. This is very important for you. So you choose the right path that eventually leads to the Vajradhara state, step by step. So many already went through that, produced great result. If you follow that path, you will gain some result. If not, maybe there's some tendency, strong tendency. So then it's good. So it's good. Okay. Then receiving initiations, then practicing the samaya, vows, but Kriya Tantra, Charya Tantra, I'm not sure about intra-yoga Tantra, but Yoga Tantra, there does not have tantric vow, only Patimoksha vow, Bodhisattva vow. Higher Yoga Tantra, top of that, there's Tantra vows. So then, receiving vows is easy, but practicing them is quite difficult, but, so that need to consider that, so just like somebody putting some wares on your head doesn't mean you receive initiation. It's not that easy. So need to understand, need to educate ourselves. But then you can learn. Some human learn. Why not? You can learn. And you can practice Tantra. You can study Tantra. But it's always good to follow the, you may think, oh, maybe I should jump. I should know whatever Lamrim, maybe jump to Tantra. So then it's like grabbing handful of sand, squeezing that and hoping some kind of oil will come out of that. Then there will be no oil, because the various substance you are holding in your hand does not produce oil at all, oil at all. So you better to grab something that produce oil. When you squeeze, then oil will come. Okay? This is for so that's more important for all of us. Okay, and then what else?
That's all the questions, Geshe.
Very good questions, but very good questions. Very good and profound questions. I'm happy that you asked these questions. So then, these are the layout how to enter into Vajrayana path. Okay. So now, King of Prayer.
Geshe, we'd like, oh, go ahead, yeah. Sa
Shi per ki shu xing me to tam ri ra bli shi ni de gen pa di san ge xing du mi te ua i do ku nam da xin la che pa sho je tsu la me ku te rap ten shi nam ka ti le chok chu ge pa dang lo zan ten pe de me sa sum ki do we mu sao ta tu ne gyu chi idam guru ratamandala kam niryatayami. Now we'd like to do another mandala offering for requesting the teachings. Is that all right?
No, this goes. Okay. So,
Okay, do another one. This is for the King of Prayers to request the teachings. Saji per ki shu xing me to tam ri ra bin shi ni de gen pa di san ge xing du mi te ua i do ku nam dak xin la che pa sho je tsu la ma dam pa kien nam ki chu ku ka la kien se chu jin ti ji da zang pe du je zi ma la xia ge che ki cha pa wa tu so idam guru ratamadala kam niryatayami.
oh yeah.
Geshe, would you like me to start reading?
No need to read. You can
Okay.
you can close this. The people. I think people have the copy. I'm assuming everybody has a copy. Everybody has a copy of the King of Prayer. Oh yeah. So here, when you look at the end of the foundation of all the good qualities, composed by Lama Tsongkhapa, but there's like short Lamrim. It's called like foundation of all the good qualities. When you look at the very end of the text, what Lama Tsongkhapa said to all of us, if we are hoping to achieve it's called like Vajradhara state, basically form of enlightenment that Lama Tsongkhapa managed to achieve. So Lama Tsongkhapa was sharing how he did it, what it required. So in the very end of the foundation of good qualities, Tumo Lamjang ne du chubana, Tumo Lamjang, Tumo common path. Tumo Lamjang ne du chubana. When you prepare yourself when you're studying, you know what is renunciations, what is bodhicitta, what is wisdom realizing shunyata. You study them based on Lamrim, Lamrim, or Lama Tsongkhapa Lamrim. So Lama Tsongkhapa explained them intensively. What is renunciations, how to develop, how you can tell once you generate, once you actualize renunciations, what is the bodhicitta, how many instructions to develop bodhicitta. So what is wisdom realizing shunyata? Lama Tsongkhapa extensively explained in Lamrim teachings. So when you study them and have some like clue, so then you prepare yourself. You are like preparing yourself for, it's almost like preparing, let's say, tantra teaching is some kind of liquid. So that requires to pour some vessel. So you become proper vessel for tantra teachings, because now you understood what is renunciation, what is bodhicitta, what is wisdom, shunyata. These are called common path. Have some good understanding. When you think about them, you have like some level of meditative experience. When you're thinking about renunciations, when you're thinking about bodhicitta, when you're thinking about wisdom realizing shunyatas, so then you have some level of, if not complete, but some level of meditative experience of these three principal aspects of path. So these are called common path. So once you have that, so then you already prepare yourself for tantra teachings. Tebakunji chok churus, doji changs, Vajrayana is the best. Of course, it's the best. Tebakunji churus, doji changs. Kesa cheve jumos. Fortunate one enter, that's the fortunate one enter into that path. Only fortunate one enter into the path. The fortunate, how you define fortunate? If you have better understanding of the three principal aspects of the path, top of that, if you have deep meditative experience, that means you already actualize those within your mind stream. If not, at least some kind of experience. That's called, then you become like fortunate one. So then you are now tantra, vajrayana path, or tantrayana, vajrayana, mantrayana, whatever you say, it's the same thing. It's not different, it's the same thing. Doji Teba, there's a few different names. Vajrayana, tantrayana, secret yana, the few same thing. These are called the entrance of the fortunate one, fortunate, the base on meditative experience of three principal external path. That's called fortunate one. So then should not delay, immediately enter into the path, vajrayana path, because you yourself is already prepared. So then better to, enter into vajrayana path sooner than later, because life has no guarantee, so like it's just idea. There's no guarantee that you will wake up tomorrow morning. There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee. But we just think that we are going to wake up, but there's no guarantee. Therefore, should not delay the entry into Mahana path. So that's what Lama Tsongkhapa was telling all of us. So we should listen very carefully what Lama Tsongkhapa said. Oh. Tomorrow, so then you kind of request Lama Tsongkhapa to bless you, able to enter into the path. Okay? Oh, yeah. Oh, good evening, Ryan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, good to see you, Ninja.
Good to see you.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. So now here, we'll start the King of Prayer, okay? Oh, yeah. So this prayer is like, is one of the, some of you probably heard this. This is like one of the 8 set of prayer that we recite. Somebody dies, like these are the typical prayer that you recite. But this is one of them called King of Prayer. So why it's called King of Prayer? Because I'm going to look at the text. So there's, when you read the sutra directly or indirectly taught by Shakyamuni Buddha, these teachings are called sutra. Shastra, Shastra are called Tenju. There's like the commentaries from the Nalendra masters, commentaries such as Nagarjuna, Arya, Asanga, Dignaga, all this, there's like commentaries like 300 volumes something, the commentaries on the sutra, these are called. So when you read, so then there's this entire teaching is sitting at the Kadamba Center, sitting on the Kadamba Center altar. So why I invited all this teaching at the center? When people face, I don't think there's any benefit seeing me there, but you at least you see the entire Buddha's teaching with the commentaries, you get some imprint. So that's all my point, inviting this entire Buddha's teachings. So nowadays, when people are going around the Gompa, they are going around entire Buddha's teachings with the commentaries. There are like, altogether, there's like 300 some books there with the commentaries, including Kadamba Center already had this Lama Tsongkhapa's teachings, like, and his 2 disciples. There's all of them is there. So they're not just going around the empty building. That building is holy because it contains entire Buddha's teaching there. So there's my reason why I invited there. At least people can see the teaching. So they probably get zero benefit seeing me there, but they get at least benefit seeing the entire Buddha's teaching. So there in all those teachings, there's many, many prayers when you look. So this is called the best of the best prayers taught by Buddha and all the like Nalendra masters. That's why it's called King of Prayer. It's almost like among those many prayers, this is almost like the best one. That's called King of Prayer. Okay. So in Sanskrit, Panditji, what is called prayer in Sanskrit?
It's Samanta Bhadracharya Pranidhana Raja. It's the aspiration of Samanta Bhadra's practice.
No, what is it called? Like, do you know by heart, or maybe what is how you call prayer in Sanskrit? Prayer.
Prasna.
Huh?
Pratna.
Pratna. Pratna. Is that the only word? Pratna?
No, there are a couple of ways to say it, but that's the one I'm aware of is Pratna.
What is the other way? No, you
Think
don't.
about it. Don't know right now.
Tanidana. What is that?
We'll say that again, Geshe.
Tanidana. Tanidana. That sounds familiar?
No, Geshe.
It's like number of Tibetan people went to India a long time ago, study. At that time, Sanskrit is widely spoken. Now it's kind of like dying language, but now it's more become like scholar language. But during that time, a lot of people do know Sanskrit. If you can talk to them in Sanskrit, probably you say something in Sanskrit, people do know. Nowadays it's hard. So anyway, so when they translated Sanskrit into Tibetan language, so they have to do multiple translations. They can't just, once you translate one time, it doesn't get the whole meaning. So then they do something, they add something, then they, then eventually, then they get to the meaning. So that's how, so some of the Sanskrit word, now the Hindi was the commonly spoken in India. So there, some of the mantras, they kind of match, some of the words in the mantra doesn't match, and people even don't know what it means. So, but getting into this kind of like term like Tanidana, so that basically means prayer. So now see, not common people understand. So that's how they get that word means prayer. Probably there are multiple translations. One translate, then slowly, then it means prayer, like that. Okay. So probably I'm not really explaining very well, but anyway, so this is called King of Prayer. So that's like among those many prayer in the Sutra and Shastra. So this is the best in terms of it contains all the essence of all the prayer that's been taught by Buddha, directly, indirectly, taught by all these Nalanda masters. Okay. So then, like Tibetan text typically explain based on the as a point. So first, what they do, first they explain the name of the text. First, they explain the name of the text. That's how the Tibetan text has been written. First, Senji to him is meaning of the title of the text. So then after that, why homage? Why you homage? So then, what is the purpose? What is the benefit, temporary benefit, ultimate benefit, and what is the subject of your book? What is your subject of your book, and what is the temporary benefit of reading this book or studying this book, and what is the ultimate benefit, and what is the relationship between the subject and the temporary benefit and ultimate benefit? Is there any relationship? So that's how basically text has been written like that. So then of course change it there. So like the definition of the title, why it's called King of Prayer. And of course in Sanskrit, first explain Sanskrit, why Sanskrit is considered as a divine language. Divine language. Sanskrit is considered as a divine language. When the Buddha was in India, there's like 4 great languages been spoken. Language that normal people speak, humanity came like kind of called natural language, spoken by people. That's what it's called, humanity. There's like 4 great languages, not just only 4, but there are many, but 4 widely spoken or maybe famous language at that time. Sanskrit is one of them and considered as a divine language. So most of the Mahayana teaching is taught in Sanskrit language. And most of the Hinayana teaching was taught in like Pali language. So Pali language. So therefore now Burma, Sri Lanka, Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, all the prayers have been pretty much said in Pali language. So then when you read Mahayana text, they begin with the Sanskrit. So that's why they begin with Sanskrit. The author is hoping, or like the translator is hoping that you will have some tendency of hearing Sanskrit. Why? Because there will be 1,001 Buddha will descend to our world. Shakyamuni Buddha was number 4, Maitreya Buddha will be number 5. There will be 1,001 Buddha will descend or comes to our planet. All of them teach Mahayana teaching in Sanskrit. So therefore, maybe you have some kind of imprint. So then next time, if you happen to be human beings again, Maitreya Buddha's lifetime, when the Buddha teach in the Sanskrit, you have some clue. So you probably you will understand. Okay, so that's the reason. If somebody asks why Tibetan text begins with Sanskrit, that's the reason they put it there. Okay. Oh yeah. So then how you call Panditji? You run away? No, you are. How you say gentle in Sanskrit? Gentle.
I'm thinking, Geshe, right now English in the head, so I'm thinking through it.
Okay. Yeah, take your time. So when you remember, then tell.
I'll let you know, Geshe, in a minute.
So here, so what is called this text called in like Sanskrit Arya. I already explained Arya. You know Arya. That means does it have to be monks? Does it have to be nun? Does it have to be a Sangha member? Someone who experienced shunyata directly. You are considered as Arya. That means like Arya being. Okay, Arya being. The Bhagavad. So Arya. Arya Bada means like gentle. Sarya is like conduct. So you see like Kriya Tantra, Charya Tantra, Yoga Tantra, highest Yoga Tantra, Charya Tantra. The same thing, Charya is like conduct. So I don't speak Sanskrit. No, I never learned Sanskrit. Only Sanskrit I know because I'm studying, but I study the text. Therefore, I do know some word here, there. Charya, this is the conduct. So Tanidana supposed to be prayer in Sanskrit. And so my Sanskrit is not that great, almost zero, so I can't really, probably this is correct, otherwise they are not going to put it here. So there's Tanidana, that's called prayer. Ranza, there's Tibetan Ranza, actually in India called Raja, that's how they say Raja. There may be who's mispronouncing Tibetan or them, hard to say. Hard to say. How to mispronounce Indian or Tibetan, hard to say, because the question is how do you say in Sanskrit, not just in Hindi, Sanskrit. Of course, Sanskrit is part of Hindi, but not every Hindi-speaking people understand Sanskrit. So now the question is how you call king in Sanskrit language, Raja or Ranza? I don't know. So here it's called Ranza. So that means same in the medicine Buddha mantra. Teata Bekazi Maha Bekazi Ranza. Same thing. Ranza here, same thing. Ranza means king. Like king of physicians. Ranza, according to medicine Buddha mantra. So now you see, if you learn something that kind of clicks, now you see Ranza here. Oh, I do know. Based on medicine Buddha mantra, it's called king. So now same thing here, king, not different. Same thing. Oh, Ranza. So these are the names, like Arya, Bandra, Sarya, Tanida, Ranza. That's the name of the text. Just to explain like that, it's kind of tradition, but you don't need to remember that. So there'll be no quiz. There'll be no quiz, no exam. Not at all. Then after that, I got Tibetan language. Papa Sambuji Melam. Of course, as a Tibetan, it sounds much better in Tibetan language. Papa Sambuji Melam Jabula. 다 자주선바 군도 상부 자세지 좁아 라보지 타다 용수 좁아 초지도 되는 멜로디 대신. So now what it says here, Bodhisattva, 자주선바 군도 상부에서 Bodhisattva Samadha Bhadra. Okay, Bodhisattva Samadha Bhadra, who wrote this text. Bodhisattva Samadha Bhadra, who wrote this text. Oh, a wonderful text. 자주선바 군도 상부지 자세지 좁아 라보지 타다. Entire Bodhisattva deed, Bodhisattva practice, entire Bodhisattva practice, entire, not just one, entire Bodhisattva practice. Summarize, Bodhisattva Samadha Bhattara summarize entire Bodhisattva practice into this prayer, okay? So therefore, main subject of this text is entire Bodhisattva practice. Therefore, the subject is based on the subject. This is called Ranza, king of prayer. King of prayers. That's why it's called king. Even though there are many other prayers, but this one called king. Why? This is for sake of knowledge. Why? Because it contains entire Bodhisattva practices summarized into this prayer. That's why it's called king. Okay, for the sake of knowledge. So next time when you explain, when you get opportunities, who knows? You never know. If somebody asks, that's the way to explain. I'm also reading the text. Based on that text, that's how the king. Why it's called king? Because this text sums up entire Bodhisattva practice, summarized into this text. That's why I call king of prayer. Oh, this is a beautiful prayer, by the way. Then second one is homage, homage to Manjushri Bodhisattva, homage to Bodhisattva Manjushri. So, that's probably not how the book in the Western society has been written. Tibetans, all the books in Tibetan, you pay homage. After the title, you pay homage. True, you may never know, you may not able to finish the book. Maybe there may be some different kind of obstacles. In order to remove the obstacles, to complete the books, in the very beginning, you pay homage. You pay homage. Oh, that's the reason, but it didn't say here, but I already know. That's so much. Me put job suddenly be changes about the job Johnson. So now when you say this king of prayer, what you're supposed to remember, what you're supposed to keep in your mind is like entire bodhisattva practice. If it's possible, you should keep that in your mind, entire bodhisattva practice. Based on 6 perfections. If you remember 6 perfections, if you want to expand that icon, like right now you just have know the name, 6 perfection of generosity. If you want to make that a little bit deeper so that you can read in Guru Puja, the 6 perfections part in Lamrim part of Guru Puja, each profession has 1 stanza. It's kind of explain the idea of the profession of generosity idea. Lütang, lütang. That's just example. Lütang, your body, longju, your possessions. Tizum getza, tirita merit that you created. Tirita merit. You probably did something good 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. You did something good. That's merit. You are doing something good now. That's merit. You are probably thinking to do something good in the future. That's merit. That's called 3-time merit. In Buddhism, the term they use is a merit, like positive deeds, verbal, physical, mental. So there are 3 times of that, 3 times of that. Your body, your possession, 3 times your merit, 3 times your merit. Right now I'm saying our 6 profession of generosity, that doesn't help much, even though it's kind of sums up all the bodhisattva deeds that associated with the generosity, kind of sums up in the 1 word. But you, in order to get some idea, you need to, I say, go a little bit deeper. So then the Guru Puja part will help you. Now this is specifically for practice of generosity, first profession. How you meditate, according to this book, kind of suggesting me that I should think about entire bodhisattva deed while I'm studying or reading. How I do that? Or you could sum up entire bodhisattva practice into 6 perfections, if you know. Oh, I do know 6 perfections. Oh, generosity. Now think about how to think. Oh, your body, your possessions, your 3-time merit, lüdang longje, tizum lüdang longje, tizum gedoji. Simje rana debe, mujutes. Your body, your possessions, your 3-time merit, you are transforming mentally, you are transforming that whatever the other beings needed, water, food, shelter, clothes, medicine, road, whatever they needed, you're just transforming transforming that into whatever needs of the other sentient beings. Simje rana debe mujutes. Chame tongsems, offering that without string attached, means offering them without attachment, attachment. Dage lüdang longje tuzum gezoji simje rana debe mujutes. Chame tongsempe melani jimbe pajen zobaji. That's how you're going to be. That's how you are going to perfect your generosity. That's the way to perfect your generosity. Giving without expectations, without attachments, just giving. That's all. Just want to give and give, nothing else. Want to give. Why? There's so much benefit just giving. That's why I want to give. It's good for you, it's good for entire universe. It's good. So that's why you want to give. And you are giving that without expectations, without attachments. That's how you think about it. When I think about bodhisattva practice of generosity, that's how you think. So then with that, keeping that kind of mind inside the mind, so then reading King of Prayer, your merit become much more much more beneficial, much more, profound. Okay? That's just example. So then it goes, they are like all the list there one by one in group. If you are interested, you can learn. Good evening, Lee. Yeah. So now here, Salanebi Chaju Samano Juju, the Chuba Janto Tabunam, D. Juja Yilas, D. Juja Yilas. Bodhisattva did entire Bodhisattva practice or Bodhisattva, entire Bodhisattva practice is the main subject of this book, what is called King of Prayer. Therefore, and one should remember that all the entire Bodhisattva did is possible based on the 6 perfections, and then read this King of Prayer. That's the best way to do it, King of Prayer, okay? Now, what it does for you, temporarily, at the moment, what it does for you, it kind of nurtures, It's kind of nurtures your Buddha nature. It kind of nurtures your Buddha nature. It's kind of nurture your Buddha natures. If you recite this King of Prayer with thinking about entire Bodhisattva did based on the 6 perfections, it temporary benefit, it nurtures your Buddha natures, your ultimate natures, and nurture your ultimate natures. It kind of nurtures the power of Buddha nature. Not just that, and you will live very strong, powerful tendency related to the Bodhisattva practice in your mind stream. Make sense? If it doesn't make sense, please raise your hand. So I will try to speak slowly. Tendency. Tukbu means thick. So here, it's not like thin, thick, that means strong. Strong tendency will be printed on your mind stream. So that kind of motivates you when you further read, when you're further reading the prayer, kind of motivates you to engage in the Bodhisattva deed. Okay? That's the purpose. Then you might be inspired by, wow, like this is beautiful, this is really beautiful. I really like this prayer. This is the benefit. So the ultimate benefit, of course, the Buddhahood, enlightenment. As I said, this is very important. Buddhahood doesn't base on gender. Buddhahood simply means enlightenment. It doesn't mean man or woman. It means fully enlightenment. Buddhahood. It's not. There's no connotation of male or female. There's no gender. Buddhahood means enlightenment. The ultimate goal is, Buddhahood. Melam to be Jew, Sajang Chave, Melam to be Jew. What is the goal here? The goal here is Buddhahood. That's the goal. It's Buddhahood, the goal. In order to achieve Buddhahood, so what we need to do, we need tons of merit. Whatever ways we can create, we need merit. Tons of them need merit. And whenever you feel bad about something, we need to purify. Instead of feeling guilty, we need to purify. We need to purify. Probably a lot of purification is needed. Melam to be Jew, melam to be Jew, Sarjang. So it begins with it's kind of the beginning of the prayer will help you to purify, simultaneously create vast amount of merit. That's what the King of Prayer does. When you read with mindfulness, so it begins with that, preparing you for Buddhahood. Benefit of saying the prayer, benefit of recalling the meaning of the prayer, benefit of saying the prayer, may inspire you, may generate some kind of interest you to engage into Bodhisattva deed. These are all benefit, okay? So see, sometimes like people comes here, oh, Geshe is so clean. Yeah. So spiritual practice begins with the cleaning environment. I don't see it as just cleaning. I see it's a mean. I see cleaning has much deeper meaning. It's not just. I don't see it as a chore. I don't see the chore. I see that is like part of my spiritual practice. That's what I do, part of my spiritual practice. Because I'm about to invite Lama Tsongkhapa here in my environment. I make sure that everything's how you say in English, neat and clean and neat. How you say clean and neat? Yeah, so I don't see it's a chore. I see it has significant meaning. For me, it has significant meaning. I'm not just cleaning. I'm not just picking up dirt. I see there's like my disturbing thought. I'm just cleaning my disturbing. This is not just dirt. It's just dirt of my disturbing thought. So I'm just thinking with that kind of mindset, I clean, I feel good, I feel happy, I feel fortunate. I clean, so I see there's like part of my spiritual practice, not just like some like I have to I have choice, I don't have to do. So that's why every practice of Buddhism begins with the cleaning environment. And also, it has positive impact on your mind, believe it or not. Same way, when other people comes, their mind is kind of pleased, everything is very clean. So that create the cause to be born in higher realm, that create the cause to be born in, the pure land. They create the cause to be born in pure land, because when other people come there, their mind is kind of pleased, smells good, kind of clean. When you look around, you feel feel good because it's clean. Well, there's multiple benefits. It's not just chore, it just has to clean. It's not like that. You see there's significant meaning there. So this is like important part of the spiritual practice. It's not just chore, it's your spiritual practice. So here, what is the practice is King of Prayer. We start reading King of Prayer. So before you do that, make sure that clean the room. Don't think there's chore. It is part of the practice. It's not different in your practice. It's a part of the practice. Oh yeah. This is Lama Selingpa, Lama Atisha's main guru, Lama Selingpa, who helped Lama Atisha to develop bodhicitta. Modern day now is like Samantha in Indonesia. Lama Atisha went there, took 13 months. Or long time. There's no by boat. Spent 12 years. So Lama Atisha managed to develop bodhicitta due to the kindness of Lama Selingpa, who was residing there at that time. So this cleaning environment before your practice is Lama Atish and Lama Silingba traditions. Their traditions. So Atish Chashetas, Chashe means traditions. Nega Chirochela, Kuzutu Chitantams. Then like display the holy object. No, you don't have to move them around every day, moving here, there. That's what is not, that doesn't mean like that. Just, if you have already have there, you don't need to move. You just leave them alone. You don't need to disturb them to moving around. You just leave them alone. But this like display holy object, you can just that when you just like when you offering light something, just look at them, look at them like. Even with angry mind, according to Bodhisattva, Bodhicharya Avatara, composed by Shantideva in that text, even with the angry mind, when you look at the Buddha's image, you still get benefit. Can you believe that? Why? Because the power of the object, you still get benefit. Power of the object, you still get benefit. Even with angry mind, if you look at the Buddha's image, I'm not sure how many people look at the Buddha's image with angry mind. Maybe probably is possible, but you still get benefit. When you're agitated, when you're stressed, you see Tara image, Buddha, any holy image you see, you still get benefit. So that's why displaying the holy object. Jinjue Cheba, based on your abilities, making offerings, it's like, as I said, we need tons of merit. So then it becomes in the king of prayer, it's just physically just one, mentally it's millions in front of each Buddha, not just. So can you imagine now you're creating merit, offering physically one, mentally offering each and every Buddha from the 10 directions. Can you imagine how much merit you create? Creating merit is not that difficult at all. It's quite easy. No, we just need to be mindful, quite easy. It's not that difficult for creating merit. So, then say, but it will come later. That's why we say Om Ahu, the shortest mantra of offering, the longer one, so it's kind of like multiplies. Then you have idea. It's not just you have zero idea. You are doing something, you have no clue what you're doing. It's not like that. You have clear idea, exactly what you're doing. And it has profound meaning. It's not just like, and then because of that, it doesn't become chore. Because for you, it has significant meaning. It's very important. Significant meaning. It's not just chore. And when you're doing that, you feel kind of fortunate. You feel kind of like happy. You feel kind of like your life will feel like useful. It's like everything has meaning, significant meaning. It's not just chore. Whatever you can offer. It's not like, you have to offer like this much. There's no definite. You can offer whatever you can offer. So then, when you drink the tea, so you make sure that your cup is clean. You probably, if you need to wash 2 times, you will wash. So there's something on altar, you don't take that serious, maybe there's no need to wash. No, then that's not good. It's not good. We have to make the best of the best offering. Why? Because we need tons of merit. Why? Merit is the cause for ultimate happiness, Buddha nature, Buddhahood. It's cause for success. According to Buddhism, success has a cause. The main cause of success, merit. Mental health, physical health, does require a lot of merit. Whatever you can afford. So display offering with a pure mind as pure as possible, pure mind. Devetana. So now Devetam is comfortable cushions. Then comfortable cushions doesn't have to be sit down on the floor. You can sit on the chair, doesn't matter wherever you sit, wherever you feel comfortable, doesn't have to be on the floor, you know. Make sure that you are sitting comfortably. That's what's important, sitting comfortably. Oh, so then, you know, like, how do you make sure that, you know, there's certain like physical, as I'm not sure in the United States, I'm not sure in the West, but, you know, like probably putting your feet towards the altar like this probably is not, it's not considered as a respect, probably, you know. So out of respect, you know, so what's the best, you know, like if you put a statue here, put your feet there, probably that's not the best performance. Sorry to say, not the best performance, you know. So that probably should be a little bit higher, you know, because for you, this is very important. For you, this is very important. It's not just some kind of children's play. For this is for you, this is very important. This is for your inner development. That's what you're doing. You are not just trying to imitate someone. You are trying to do this for your inner development. You know, so that's why the conduct needs to be respectful. Sake of your success, showing respect towards the holy object, you get benefit. It's not just somebody decide, you know. So the first place, you don't have to have altar, you don't have to practice, you don't have to do any practice. Who force? Nobody force. It's all totally up to you. So once we do, then we probably do it well, because it's very important. It's important for your mind, particularly for your mind. It's very important for your mind. So that so then so then need to think about impermanent. So now you already set up your altar, you already clean your environment. Now you are sitting comfortably on your seat. So now what, in order to get the maximum benefit, what I should think, then you can think, or whatever the suggestion here, you think, oh, this will give me maximum benefit or not, you decide. Okay, there's a suggestion here. So now you are sitting comfortably, your environment is clean, altar is set up, offering is set up. Now you are sitting on your cushion or your chair comfortably. Now, what I should think in order to get the maximum benefit, what I should think, or there are certain things will help. What are those? Impermanent. Otherwise, oh, tomorrow, then oh, day after tomorrow, or maybe next week, or maybe next month, maybe next year. Then never got a chance. You're just, you know, the Kungdang, Lama Kungdang, one of the great master, wrote advice for the practitioners, saying that 20 years has been passed, not having any opportunity to practice. 20 years has been just passed, not having any opportunity to practice. So now another 20 years has been passed, just thinking, oh, I'm going to do, never do. I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do, but you never do. 20 years passed. Now the 40 years gone. So that's how, like, you know, there's like, as a putting up. You know, putting up the spiritual practice is not the probably best thing to do. So no, putting up. So therefore, impermanent helps you not to put up impermanent, you know. When? Now. There will never best time than now. Now. It's now. You know, that's the best. How long? doesn't matter how long, doesn't matter, 1 minute, 2 minutes, at least started. Midaba. Then you do Dumas. Oh, so now then after that, think about impermanent, they think about all the complications, different realms, different realm, the sixth realm, if you can think of a sixth realm. Some of you may wonder why Geshe never talks about hell realm. I am kind of person. If there's some benefit, then you do. If there's no benefit, then you don't do, because we are all looking for benefit. So usually, commonly, we don't have to go that far. Just think about all the complications that we go through in the world that we live in, world, your own world, your family, your friends, your distant relatives, your neighbors, your countries. There's tons of that. There's no shortage of complications. We don't have to go through each realms. There's no lot of complications on this planet. Just think about them. Otherwise, you may think, oh, maybe going to Nepal, maybe life will be easier. Probably not 100%. Could be ignorance, sorry to say. Or maybe like going to Machu Picchu, my life will be better. But could be wrong. Could be wrong. Probably maybe temporary. Or like then we go different places. People go, Are we content? Probably not. Or did your complaining things about completely finished before going to Machu Picchu? No. Probably you brought some extra complaint from the Machu Picchu. So never finish, Are we content? We are not content. So, these are the things that you need to remember. You need to remember the complications and like just simply being a human. There's a lot of complications. So think about them. Why you think about them? You're hoping something good will grow from there. Oh, now, what is the choice? Liberations. Best choice, liberations. Freedom, complete freedom from compilation. There's something to think about. There's something to think about. Complete freedom from complications. Moksha, liberation. Something to think about. Something to do about that. Something, not a lot. Something. Sometimes something dedicated towards that. Good, that's good to aim. Buddhahood, good. Otherwise, this complication will not end by itself. It will just go round and round, change body, finish this body, another body, same complication goes round and round. So that's why there's the benefit. If there's no benefit, then don't think. Don't think, just think something good. Just think something good. None to think complication, just think something good. If that kind of motivates you to be aim for liberations, Buddhahood, do that. You just think good. Never ever think something wrong. No need to focus on the suffering of lower realm. Just focus on happiness. Just focus on something positive. If that helps. Same thing. So then think about love. Think about compassion. When you are sitting down very comfortably in your cushions, what I should think in order to get the maximum benefit? Oh, think about impermanent, or think about bodhicitta, think about love, loving kindness, think about compassion. Oh, that's the way to get maximum benefit. Don't think about something negative. When you think about those things, there's no space for negative thought. Your life will be better off, Negative thought and a positive thought cannot rise simultaneously. Impossible. That's the nature, impossible. Cold water, hot water cannot remain simultaneously together. Why? That's a natural law. The natural law, same thing. Oh, so then, then if you consider yourself a Buddhist, so then you take refuge in Buddha Dharma Sangha. Chamdo, then generate bodhicitta. So now see, every text kind of laid down step by step, very clear instructions. If you are willing to do practice, instructions very clear. It's not that hard to understand. It's quite easy to understand. So then when you take refuge, Buddha Dhamma Sangha, when you generate bodhicitta, please, doesn't matter how long, that's not important. Quality, not quantity is not that important. Of course, quantity with quality is good, it's very good. Quantity with quality is very good, the best. Just quantity doesn't mean it's good, quality is something to focus, even though it's just a few minutes. When you take refuge in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, make sure that you give 100%, if that's possible, 100%. No? So then that's the way to get maximum benefit. Loning taksum. Blessing, if you give yourself 100% for the practice, blessing will flow. Indirectly, blessing will flow. One of the Indian masters called Patamasanji said, Lo Nyi Tangsum, law is like the heart. Lo Nyi Tangsum, there's some saying in Tibetan, Lo Nyi Tangsum. Means what that means, it means that give 100%, give 100%. And those I'm going to take refuge Buddha Dhamma Sangha, like looking like this, what needs to be fixed? Not like that. I go for refuge, or maybe it's raining or not raining, it's cloudy or not cloudy, not like that, But you are saying the refuge prayer, I'm going to take refuge and looking at how's the weather, not like that, just to be there 100%. If you want to get maximum benefit for yourself, then just to keep, like, oh, folks, okay. Juda Dengim is that. Juda Dengim is like with some feeling. That just like thinking other things, like thinking about breakfast, thinking about what to make lunch, and the word, mumbling word. There's the merit, but that's not the best way to get maximum benefit. Did you? Then Abulu Chujana Music, Sanjay, the Chajus and Potabish, Kuba Tamja, Rana Viduna, Rana should be Cho Majors, Le Tambues. For the beginner, so there's also like that thinking can be expanded like tremendously, but for the beginner, here, Le Tambu, Mipachadi, for make it easier for the beginner, like us, make it easier for us. Chade Lamrim Mengali Jungashi, Sojis of Deba Juni, Chabunam, the Tidishu of the Rangi Tako Simjit. So now this is like the king of prayer begin with the seven limb prayer, which just Hamula said. What time is it now?
We just have a few minutes, Geshe, about 3 minutes.
Yes. Sorry. Taking a long time just to start the root text. So that's what happened. If you talk non-stop 21 years, so that's what happened. You never get to the text. You just talk. Not much meaning, just talk. So been talking like 21 years here at the center. So yeah, so maybe next Wednesday we'll start. So I think today we can start. But anyway, in order to do like refuge, taking refuge in Buddha Dhamma Sangha, or you could say doing refuge prayer, there are some kind of visualizations in order to get maximum benefit. sure, make sure that the time well spent, not just like, even it's a 5 minutes, it's like solid, something solid, very good, solid, there's something you can rejoice. Then 40 minutes just not really focusing and thinking all kind of things. Then it's like I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm saying that's not the best way to get the maximum benefit. It's not saying it's wrong or right or wrong. If you want to get the maximum benefit out of your practice, you must give yourself 100% if it's possible, 100% qualities. So then it becomes like habit. So when you start to do practice, you say, oh, here no rushing. You already know no rushing. Now there's no rushing. No reason to rush. This is not rushing because this is all about getting maximum benefit out of the practice. No rushing. So then, not saying that doing like saying prayer, there's no benefit. There is some of the mantras very sacred. There are benefits. That's not a benefit. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying here, we must try. We must try. We must try. Even though it's hard, if you're doing like hours and hours of practice every day, it's hard to give yourself 100%. That's very understandable. So then slowly, and so then like please don't stop. If you're doing many hours of practice, if you can't give up yourself 100%, don't stop. Don't stop. So you try all your best to be there 100%. If not, so but then don't think, oh, now it's like I'm not giving myself 100%. I should not do. So that's also not good. Not good. So reciting as a large quantity of mantras, anything like it's beneficial. It's beneficial. Okay, so right now it's hard if you're doing like hours, many hours of practice here. Your mind do wander, and you realize that right away. Wow, like even you're doing some practice, still the negative mind pops up. That's quite amazing that you are doing practice. So that happens. Don't discourage. That happens. Don't discourage. Never stop. Practice should not be stopped. Even then you realize that reciting Vajrasattva mantra, all of a sudden negative thoughts pops up because you are reciting Vajrasattva mantra to purify, all of a sudden disturbing thought pops up. Wow, that's like, so that kind of like indicates that you are not really there 100%. No, you are there, but not 100% there. If you're 100% there, there's no chance for disturbing thought at all. There will be zero chance for disturbing thought to rise. Why disturbing thought rise? Why you are saying the mantra? Because you are not 100% there. So that kind of teach you, that kind of teach you. Then next mantra, then you purify that disturbing thought. Next mantra, you immediately dedicate to purify that disturbing thought. So then you make progress right away. You do make progress right away. You realize the next mantra, you say, oh, purify that. So they purify that. So then you are a little more careful. So like, there's all the struggle till we get fully enlightened. There's Shakyamuni Buddha went through that struggle. All the enlightened beings went through the same struggle. It's not like they did everything perfect. No. So they went through a lot of struggle. A lot of struggle. So, okay, so don't give up. So I'm not going to do it now. I used to do hours of practice. Now I'm not really can give myself a few hours every day. I'm not going to do. So that's not good. You continue to do verbal merit, physical merit, verbal merit, mental merit. Basically, it will be physical merit. Okay, verbal merit. Okay. Yeah, so then I'll stop here. So then next, so taking refuge with some kind of visualizations, okay? So please rejoice that you have somehow have this karma to study this beautiful, wonderful, the best prayer that's been ever written, contain entire Bodhisattva deeds. So feel fortunate, rejoice. So and I also like very happy that you are showing interest to learn this prayer. So the next time when you read, then you have more idea how to get the most out of this prayer, okay? Yeah, thank you very much. So all of you have a wonderful night. So then see you next Wednesday. Here on Zoom or at the center, I'm not sure.
There's no one at the center, Geshe.
No, the next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday we'll be on Zoom.
Okay. Every Wednesday class will be on Zoom.
That's what you wanted for now. Yes, we'll stay on Zoom for a while.
Okay.
Just Sunday at the center.
Okay. Thank you very much. You all have a wonderful night. So they'll see you next Wednesday. Okay. So maybe Kamala do dedication.
Geshe, before we
Yeah.
start the dedication prayers, I would just like it if all of us thanked Venerable Lamo for all the hours and hours that she spent reading the text to us for the last book. So that's all. Just thank you, Venerable Lamo.
And all the people somehow created the karma to hear this beautiful 400-page long teachings from Lamula. So there's the karmic relationship somewhere, some lifetime. So now there'll be generated more new karma in the future. You get opportunity to hear from Lamula again. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Geshe.
Mm.
Dewadinu duda la sange gyune do malupa de pasho Janchu Sencho Rinpoche Ma Ke Panam Kirgurchi Kewanyam Pa Me Payang Gone Gondu Pelwa Sho Jampel Pabo Jita Kempada Kudu Sampo Deyande Shinte Dedam Pungi Jesu Daloche Kewanyida Tanche Raptungo Dusun shepe gewa tancheki, ngowa gana chodu ngakpade, dashe gewe tsawa din kukyang, zangpo cheche raptu ngowa gi. Dagi shine sap gewa di, tenda dowa kunda gampe dang, kepa jetsun lo sanda pai, tempe nimpo rindu selje sho. Gandira we korwe shinkam de pendande wa malu shungmene chenre zigwan tensing gyatso yi shapesite batu tengyu chi. Jonu ien ala wang shotu. We can't see that. Awa tare tsembara sopa. Osange we de ton lek pao shok. Josu gengyo lama sowa de. Oops. Tupsu chan jin jang gen gewe. Tenzin kyopewe. Gunzer dok por tse. Chok sum kuwe lek mun tu du. Padok so du je gun du ja ten sho. Kwavale tutare ma tutare shigedo ture nama nambe do machima jak selo. Tare tu re so ha. Om 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 tare tu re so ha.
Oh yeah, thank you very much, and especially thank you for Venerable Lamula. So create so much merit. I think hearing the word from Lamula is very good. And thank you, Tomasi. And this teaching was requested by Julie John. So most of you see Julie John here did so much in so many years, so much for the center. So much. Did so much for the center. So then when Julie requested, I feel morally responsible to accept request to teach King of Prayer, because Julie, a lot of power, Julie, help center so many years. Okay, so thank you, Julie. So have a wonderful night, all of you. Have a wonderful night. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yes,
Geshe.
thank you.
Thank you, Lama.
Thank you very
Yes,
much.
Lama. Thank you, Donna.
Nango, yes.
Okay.